smoke hanging around at the Leigh Sports Village because of all the fireworks. And it is in evidence again here as we do get underway, and it will be Leigh who get first touch of the ball here. And genuinely really looking forward to this today. Should be good.
It could be absolutely anything, couldn't it? You've got a Leigh side that like to throw the ball around and play a real dominant goal forward. Like I said, Tom Amon, I thought he was exceptional last week, but Leigh, they look to play, they look to shift the ball here, give the ball to Zach Hardaker, try and find some space on the outside, and Castleford will be doing exactly the same.
It's McNamara who lines up at dummy half on that occasion. Leigh looking to advance. I mean, they are a good few points away. I mean, both these clubs are a good few points away from the playoffs. You'd probably suggest that if either of these are going to make it, Leigh are probably better placed because of the talent they've got. Talking about talent, Ricky Lutelli is world class, but not on that occasion.
Yeah, well, he's a provider, isn't he? Ricky Lutelli. He's good balance. He's lethal over on the left-hand side along with Josh Charnley. Both of them know how to play. Well, just getting over the advantage line, looking to play off the back of an offload. They shift the ball over to the left-hand side, and just his skills let him down at the end.
Big news in these parts, of course, is the fact that John Arciato, who was included in the 21-man squad, but I do believe he has a hamstring injury, but news, of course, over the weekend that he is on his way to Hull next year. Big money signing for them. So that might just have dampened the mood a little amongst the locals, but they're not letting it show.
That's a nice shot from Owen Trout, wasn't it?
McShane comes right, and here's Milnes helping it on its way. McShane in at dummy half again. Westerman and now Watts, both playing right down the middle, and Watts is held up 40 out from where he wants to be. McShane again. This is Miller looking to open things up with Mellor just on his outside. Leigh's defence holding tight, but this is the last play now. Sixth tackle coming up, swept back to Miller again, who, despite the pressure, does get the kick up and away, and well taken by Hanley on that far side.
Well, every time the ball goes up in the air, they just need to make it into a contest. Don't they, Castleford? Get enough hang time on it, so when the ball comes down on the top of Matt Moylan's head or the winger's head, you've got to make him feel a bit uneasy, try and force an error.
Working their way out of trouble here. Catch was good. But what is the response like in this next set from Leigh's point of view? Both sides have just had tricky seasons so far, but there's confidence building moments last week, and a penalty here for Leigh.
Well, it's an easy penalty. It's leg up, isn't it, for them? They'll be disappointed. Paul McShane just asking the referee, James Vello, what's the penalty for? You give that field position up, you do all the hard work on the back of a big kick chase, and just lie in too much, and it gives them an easy 30 metres getting out of trouble.
So the tap restart on the halfway line, and Leigh with a chance to spend most of this set inside their opponent's half. Back it comes from Hardaker, looking for a way through. Dwyer at dummy half. This is taken in by Amon, and the ball's gone to ground, and the referee says it's all fair and square from Cassie's point of view, and they get another set of 6 here.
Do you know what? That's what you get off Tom Moore, isn't it? Do you know, they like to play that little twos plays, not just about carrying the ball. I like this man who's got the ball as well, young Corey Hall. Debuted last week. I'm a big fan of his.
Little step here, but no real incision made. McShane again marching up here to dummy half. Westerman's on his inside here, looking for another carry, soft-handed pass along the line, and pushed through from El Zakin, but Leigh's defence is tight again. McShane now. Westerman slinging it onto Miller. Miller now looking away for one of those new players, Tex Hoy. Hoy's, though, is well marshalled by a couple of Leigh defenders. One play to go. Miller, he's certainly got some height on this. inviting those Castleford players to follow and keep it alive. They have kept it alive somehow, but then the big hit makes sure that that is that, and Leigh have it back 10 from their own line.
Well, they don't get the distance on it, do they? And Hill, the ball comes down into Hill's hands and he just takes the tackle. And again, the set-up shape, all the field position seems to be in Cass's favour in the opening stages of this game.
Well, they are trying to make some decent progress. It's a bit of an arm wrestle so far, isn't it?
Yeah, well, both sides just going about the business, rolling the sleeves up, getting stuck in, carrying the ball when they need to carry the ball. Because Cass have had the field position, they're looking to shift the ball. They've got that nice attacking shape that they've got.
Lamb comes left and Kai O'Donnell catches it. And O'Donnell can muscle his way through, but unable to do so. Little ripple of applause from the Leigh fans who admired the venture. But they're on the last play again. Dwyer moving up. His position quite as assured now with a Pappy back. Lachlan Lamb's claiming that it was taken late and unfairly, but the referee's having none of that. Lachlan Lamb staying down. Paul McShane just looked back at him and said, "Get up, old
son." Yeah, well, he had his hand up in the air, didn't he? He was expecting that the referee, James Vella, might just give a penalty for a late shot. And like I said, Paul McShane just turns around and says, "Come on, get up, let's get on with the game."
Here's McShane again. Cass with a push. Senior, Innes Senior. He's in terrific form on that left wing, and he's of course been joined by his brother Lewis in the last couple of weeks. Kick away by Milnes. It's an awkward spike of a bounce, but safely gathered in by Moylan, who sizes up what's ahead of him, what's come running at him, and pops it off for Hanley to have a go.
He's got a big boot on it, as they roll Mills. You can just see the distance that he gets. They don't look the best when they go in the air, but he gets exactly out of him what he needs. And they just need to be disciplined here now. You can see Paul McShane just ushering his troops around him. He just wants to be tighter around the ruck to control this ruck speed from Leigh.
Lutelli takes it in, quickly plays the ball again. Leigh can advance here with some real menace as well. Amon stands in the tackler, keeps that ball alive, and Lamb now will go scuttling towards that right-hand side where Hardacre's lurking, and so too is Hanley, and Hanley bounces out of one and steps away from another. McShane snuffs the danger, closing things down. Dwyer back to Lamb. A big urge and surge again. And honesty in the carry. Last play. It's McNamara who carries. Hardacre with a little kick. The ball is fumbled, but Senior just about safely regathers it back again, and just as well he did.
Yeah, you like that though from Ben McNamara. At first he looked like he was going to kick the ball in the air, then he reassessed, he looked what was in front of him. I really do like him. He's matured, he's only 22 years of age, and he's good value, young Ben McNamara for me, playing at standoff for Leigh. Look at him. Goes at the line, Zach Hardacre then kicks it. He thought the player was on the short side, but just asking a few questions.
So here comes McShane again. Westerman putting it back. Miller looking to carry towards that line. Senior, long striding and some strength as well there. He takes some handling. Shifted back to Miller. Miller just with a dinky kick towards that corner to put Moylan under a bit of pressure as he brings it out here, but Moylan looking for a way out, but dragged down in the end, thanks to George Hill. Charlie, he's on a bit of a golden point of his career as well, potentially. 297 career tries, Josh Charlie. You'd think at some point this season, maybe today, he could pass the 300 mark, but I'm sure that's not high on his priorities just at this moment. Hughes is tackled. Dwyer picks up and goes scampering away. Looks back left again, almost through. Westerman and Watts slowing him down. Lamb again. It's Hoy underneath it. Impressive debut last week, Tex Hoy. Told that he's settling in nicely at Castleford. Certainly wasn't working for him at Hull, was it?
Well, confidence is everything in sport, isn't it? And obviously, it seemed to when he was at Hull in the black and white jersey, he'd lost his confidence. You could obviously see by some of his performances he didn't want to be there. Then last week when he played at Cass, that's the reason why he first come over to the country. Start enjoying his game.
edging again here.
That's a big carry from Corey Hall, that.
Westerman left to Miller, offering it back on the inside again. Wood.
And that's all it takes. They've just want to quick play the ball, but he loses possession.
Yeah. Well, that is a cheap turnover, because immediately it gives Leigh a scent of an attacking position here.
Yeah, and they've got to defend in their own half now. And when the likes of Matt Moylan get hold of the ball and Lockie Lamb.
Lockie Lamb in conversation with those on his left, including Kai O'Donnell. It's a famous combination down this left flank. Dwyer, Hughes, here is Lamb, and there's the angle, and it's taken on by Moylan, and it's intercepted, and Senior's away here surely. Just puts the foot down. Are they going to get across? It's a terrific chase from Hanley, but it's going to be Lewis Senior who makes it 3 tries in 3 games now since his switch to this club, and it's Castleford who strike first.
Wow, they were under the pump, weren't they then? Leigh had set up on the left-hand side. It was a 3-on-2, what Leigh had. And Lewis Senior, well, he just knew that if he took the gamble and stuck his arm out, he could be exposed. The ball goes out too late, and it goes in Josh Charnley's hands, and it's a try. Look at that, 3-on-2. They go for the long ball. It doesn't come off. As soon as Moylan passes that ball, he knew that he picked the wrong choice. It just needed to be a tip on creating the 2-on-1. Go for the big play. And Senior, well, chasing down his brother's stats, scored 12 tries in the last 9, and you look at both of them, quality players on the edges.
Well, they have contributed 15 tries to the Castleford cause this year between them, the 2 seniors. Innes leading the way by a distance with 12 still, but Lewis just making inroads. And a kick from the touchline here for Rowan Mills. Tough one here against the run of play. And on the back of what they did against London last week, confidence just lifts a little higher here, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, just like what we saw from Cass last week, the dying minutes, the urgency to keep London out from scoring a try, show that there was still some determination and fight at Cass under Craig Lingard.
So Rowan Mills, left-footed, looks to swing it in. Well, it started a long way wide, it stayed a long way wide, and it also stays at 4 points to 0 in Castleford's favour.
Well, that's the positive for them. At least they're in the plus column with the points. Well, it was easy for Senior. The decision was made for him because he had to take the gamble whether to go for that or not. He knew that they were under a bit of pressure because they had the numbers, Leigh. They go for the big play, it doesn't come off. Senior plucks it out the earth, and then it's a foot race, and the Cass fans are happy. Travelled over in the numbers.
13 minutes played. Some big games coming up for Cass in the coming weeks as well. They've got St Helens at home and Hull at home, and Leeds away. That's always one that Castleford fans relish, against the Millionaire Club just up the road. It's coming up in the next 3 weeks or so. But just at the moment, they've got the eyes on what's happening here, and it's so far so good from Castleford's point of view. McShane, arms outstretched and wondering why it was taking so long for that ball to be played. Here he comes again. Westerman. Always getting involved. Flick pass away, and he wasn't expecting that, wasn't Hall. And that means that Leigh, again, a gifted position here.
Yeah, look, it just wasn't on that. They did all the hard work. The carries off the ruck were really good. They've got an old experienced front row, Castleford, who know how to do the job, but that offload wasn't on from Zakeem.
Dwyer spinning it to Hughes. Now it's with Lamb, inside for O'Donnell. O'Donnell, well, this time it's Leigh's turn to try and produce a pass that wasn't expected, and Moylan knocks on. But again, you can see that Lamb, and always fascinating to watch that, Lamb and O'Donnell, angles being run, and those two combine so very well, don't they?
Well, they know what each other's thinking, don't he? Hits some really good aggressive lines. Kai O'Donnell comes back against the grain. Lamb knows who he's got to fix up in the defensive line. He does that. But you look at another offload. So Zakeem made an offload which was a bit too hard for Corey Hall to catch, and then on the back of that little half break from Kai O'Donnell forces the error.
his senior. Offside against Leigh. So a cheap penalty here for Castleford, and some easy meters to be earned on the back of that.
And again, it's a penalty that just gets you out of trouble. They're just easy penalties, easy meters. Well, coaches will talk about make sure that we discipline with them without the ball, make sure we discipline not giving up those meters to opponents as well.
Tap taken by Sam Wood, and he will carry it as well. So 5 tackles to go. They are in reachable distance here in this set, Cass. At the very least, they'd be expecting an attacking kick at the end of it, but let's see what they can do before they get to that position. Watts goes down, McShane picks up. Right it comes, El Zakim looking for the burst through, and it was a good job Moylan got a hold there, because he found a weakness in that Leigh defence initially. And Castleford through Westerman, and now Miller, and left it goes again. It's Hoy with the step, and Tex Hoy is over to score. It's a second Castleford try. They really are setting the cat amongst the pigeons here. The Tigers are tearing the Leopards apart just at the moment.
Well, what a start from Cass. Confident start when they shifted that ball from one side of the field to the other. Excellent play from them to get the ball out to that man, Tex Hoy. It's quality play, full of confidence. The build-up that they had, they get hold of that ball. Zakim hits a really good line, didn't he? Back against the green, gets his nose through the line. Then all of a sudden he spots some space out wide, and it's just perfect hands that go out, holding up defenders, creating the space on the edge, and he managed to get over to the line. That's a big start for Castleford. They knew Craig Lingard would have talked about getting here, getting the job done, being focused, making sure you have the right attitude.
Well, what a start by Castleford. I mean, Leigh were looking the better team, weren't they?
It's amazing, isn't it? A penalty, a couple of mistakes. All of a sudden, the team get the ball, they get it in the right area of the field where they need to be. Like I said before, when you look at the likes of Liam Watts and Paul McShane and Joe Westerman in the front row, they go forward, do the jobs. You've got Rowan Milnes on the back of it in the halves with Jacob Miller and Tex Hoy at the back.
Well, Rowan Milnes wasn't successful with the first kick. It was a disappointing kick, but my goodness, he's made up for it with that one from the other side. And 10 points to 0. Castleford lead here.
Well, look, sometimes you just got to rev up when you carry the ball. Zakim did that. He laid the line. The previous time he had the ball, he forced an offload. It was too hard for Corey Hall to take. They managed to get that field position. They managed to get that quick play of the ball, and that man, Tex Hoy, goes in.
It's fascinating to watch how squads evolve over the season. We're at that point of the year now, aren't we, where there have been 1 or 2 movements of personnel. And Cass, I think Cass have used 33 different players this season, but they're looking a different outfit at the moment with their new inclusions.
Yeah, and Craig Ling has said it's a building process, isn't it, over the years, building a younger side, bringing in some young players that'll go forward and benefit the club over the years.
Still early days, and expect a big response here from Leigh.
Do you know, he's been a great signing, I think, Alex Mellor. I thought he was good last week. He's been good since he's put on a Cass shirt.
Oh,
look at this.
Watts, Liam Watts tearing through, turning back the years, looking for support, and Lachlan Lamb just gets back to haul Hill down. But Castleford are flooding forward again here. It's Miller who picks up, comes right, Hoy with a big pass over the top. Forward. A real touch of class, had it not been a forward pass.
Wow. Liam Watts rolling back the years, goes right up the guts from Leigh, and then again just playing on the back of that.
Well, Liam Watts is getting a bit of treatment at the moment. I'm not sure if he needs oxygen after that run. Oh my goodness, he'll be using this position. Look at that fantastic run, wasn't it?
Look at that fantastic run. Good play as well, just to tip the ball on at the right start, the right time. They do that. Tex Hoy again goes at the line, gets defenders interested, and throws the ball over the top to Senior. He's got the thumbs up, he's okay.
So everybody settles, ready for this. My word, if that had flown the way it was intended to flow, that pass, the third Castleford try, that really would have been a shocking situation for Leigh to find themselves here. But as it stands, still only 2 scores back.
Well, nearly a quarter of the game gone now, and I'm sure many of the Leigh fans that rocked into the stadium not an hour before the game would be a bit surprised here, considering the last time that they went out and played, they beat Catalan. They did a right job on Catalan.
That is the season, though, isn't it? You know, 1 week teams win, the next week unexpected defeats, but Leigh here looking to settle their ship. Charnley, the step back on the inside, wants to play it quickly. Dwyer's there at dummy half. Here comes the 6, Moylan throws it wide, little bounce into the hands of Hughes, and then further on again with a kick from Holton, but safely taken by Hoy.
That was big defence from Castleford on the right-hand side. Instead of committing, they knew that Leigh had the numbers on them. So what they did, they backed off and backed off and backed off, waited for the support to come on the inside. They didn't overcommit, which then forced Leigh just to tip the ball onto Charnley. But nice defence from them.
Sam Wood with the latest carry for Castleford, up to the 20-metre mark. 20 minutes played, midway through this first half. Here's McShane. Westerman. Edwin Apape on the bench. I wonder if they'll be gently bringing him back in, won't they? A bit like Jake Truman for Hull last night. They won't be wanting to give him too many minutes in Apape, you wouldn't have thought.
Well, as soon as he comes on, he's so explosive, isn't he? What he does with the ball.
Charnley.
You know, Josh Charnley again, just looking for that gap in the defensive line. One of the strongest ball carriers, Charnley.
It's Lamb who fancies the position at dummy half, and here's Hanley. He's impressed, hasn't he, this year?
He's been another player that stood up and played really well.
Dwyer. Search back towards the centre of the field. Hughes put down. Dwyer again. Amon will have a go this time. Fires it in. Lamb's coming on. Here is Moylan, who fancied he could trick his way through, but Corey Hall had other thoughts. Dwyer. Lamb. Stuttering run from him, stepping and stepping again, Amon. And now they look right again. It's Holton who's held up, put down. Dwyer on the last. They're still a good 20 metres or so away. Hughes bumps it back to Lamb. Lamb through hands it goes. Lutelli, too difficult for him to take. Charnley bounces out of a potential confrontation with Senior. Here's Lamb again, still the 6th. Lamb tries to squeeze through. He's got the ball back again, but it is, well, I think it was a knock-on anyway, but he was tackled also, so Castleford will get the ball back here on a handover.
Unlike Lachlan Lamb, he's a highly skilled player. Harper, Lockie Lamb, the ball that he threw to the wing and then it went on the floor, that pass was definitely on if it would have been executed properly. Poor end to the set for Leigh.
So here come Castleford again, led on this occasion by Lewis Senior, who's put down.
And the big thing for Cass here now is just get through the set of 6 and get to that kick. Liam Horn onto the field, normally a hooker, so you've got the likes of Liam Horn and Paul McShane on the field together.
Oh, here is McShane zooming away.
And that's what you'll see, both of them just playing together like that, going on a win.
Alex Mello was right on his shoulder there, wasn't he? But couldn't find him with a pass. So Hall now takes over. McShane standing wide left. Out it goes. Milnes puts the kick up in the air. Moylan underneath it. Safely taken in. Runs it back. Does he look to launch an attack? He does. Here's Charnley, but he's punched into by Lewis Senior with a solid stop. Lutelli now with a skipping run forward. Couple of plays gone and Leigh already moving towards this halfway line.
Well, desperate for a bit of speed now. All the outside backs coming in early on in this set just to try and get the balls going forward.
Now with a reach, and then that effervescent carry forward again. Dwyer. Oh, it's behind Lamb. It's a poor pass. Lutelli though has a chance to pick up the pieces, but always done well to create a bit of space here as Lutelli, and it's a forward pass. Lachlan Lamb chips and carries, thinks he's scored. Most of the ground thinks he's scored, but the referee very quickly there has blown for the forward pass.
Yeah, no one's looking at the man in the middle with the blue shirt on. He called that, didn't he? You know, if you're critical in the Adrian Lamb will be looking at Leigh that the execution's not been on the money. Normally they nail players like that. They've had a couple of times and chances and opportunities over on the left-hand side that they haven't got. You could see the final pass from Latelli to Lamb just goes forward.
Well, his dad's not sure.
They're normally very clinical. They score a lot of points late. Last week, if you would have watched the game when they played against Catalan and they beat them, scored in 30 points, they were unbelievable. The hard work that they did to get into that field position, everything seemed to come off.
Here's McShane. Miller probing down that left-hand side, but Lee's defence is out quickly to meet and greet. Frankie Holton was there. Here comes Horn. Castleford's turn now to see what they can do inside their opponent's territory. It's moved across, and Hoy has gone drifting across there as well, and here he comes on the back of that Miller pass and looking to open them up with his unique flair. McShane finding a cul-de-sac, but also finding a way out. Westerman puts it back, and here comes an incisive effort from El Zakim, who's kept it alive, and Hall is being carried almost closer to the line, but one play to go. El Zakim at dummy half. He's going to have a go himself here. He fancied that he had the beating of those Leigh defenders, but they regroup and regather. But referee, who had a very close view, isn't sure. Wow. Well, have a look at this. Liam Moore, the video ref.
Okay, it's tackle 5. Live decision is no try. So I'm going to play it on from this point, please. So pull it through. Just look at the grounding now to see if he does ground the ball. Can't see on that one. So I'm going to check alternative angles. You can see the ball's up at that point. This is probably going to be the best angle. So the ball's always up there. You can see the ball's short of the line. Ball short of the line. Yeah, there's a hand under the ball at that point. Still under the ball. Still under the ball. Can't see anything there. I'll just work through the angles to confirm there's nothing else. I don't think this one's going to give me much given the angle. And go back again. Get the ball. I'm going to lose the ball on this one, so I'm going to finish on this one. You can see at this point it's short of the line, and there's a hand always under the ball there. Stop it there at that point. I've made my decision.
Well, it was worth checking, but quite clearly the referee's instinct on the field was correct. Video referee, having looked at that, confirms, and it is no try. And you might have heard in the background the chants of Edwin Mbappe. And I think he's on the field. Yes, he is. Edwin Mbappe is on the field. And what a return, anticipated return, certainly by Leigh supporters.
Yeah, and what a big 15 minutes we've got coming up from Leigh with him onto the field. Just been announced to the crowd, and the crowd go wild for him.
Ollie Holmes has come on as well from the interchange bench for Leigh. So a little bit of extra freshness in their go forward.
Well, there he is, 229 appearances for Cass.
Yeah, had a spell at Warrington as well, didn't he? But Castleford very much his hometown club. This is Moylan inside, and Lamb's on the race again, puts it back to Moylan. Moylan with a step. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Leigh finally get themselves on the board. McShane was furious. He took out his gum shield and threw it to the ground. But there was a lot of class in the acts there.
Well, that's Leigh at the best, isn't it? You know, when the ball goes to hand, on the back of some real hard work, some good go forward, your half's going at the line. You've got that field position that you so desperately want. And when you've got someone like Matt Moylan at the back, you've got Edwin Mbappe getting people interested, and then Lamb goes through the line. You've got Moylan backing up, and the connection, the anticipation that they've got. Look at that, the change of direction. Moylan, as soon as he passes to Lamb, he knows he's got to keep backing up, and it's good play from them. Three of the key players for Leigh. Edwin Mbappe, Lockie Lamb and Matt Moylan.
It's like rolling back the year to 2023, that, isn't it?
Well, they are one of those teams that like to play on the front foot, and if you look at the back line, they've got some exceptional players. Adrian Lamb's assembled a squad there that mixed it in the Championship, stepped up to the Super League in 2023. Took the Super League really by surprise on just how good they were. Everyone knew when they come up they had some fabulous names, but the way they performed last year, they were tremendous.
Moylan added to the mix this year as well, so chance to add the two here. And suddenly it looks a very different game. If you can put this over at 6-10, even at 4-10 it looks a different game now. Here comes Moylan settling himself. A one-time Australian international. Here he goes, steps back, strikes it well, and the flags go up. And it is now Leigh 6, Castleford 10, and the Leopards are up and running.
Yeah, well, Edwin Apape did his job for dummy half. Just got on the field, just 2 minutes onto the field, and you can see Matt Moylan with his 10th line break assist. He pops the ball up, they go through, and then he's there to support to get the try. And as you said, Paul McShane absolutely fuming, conceding that right up the guts.
Sohoy with a restart, Charnley with a take, and Leigh with suddenly a big noise echoing around the Leigh Sports Village, looking to take on the challenge again now, and taking themselves closer to the other end of the field. Ipape at dummy half. He's already had an influence. Here's a moan, a little bit of a weave and footwork from him, and it is high short as a result of that, putting the defence off balance, and Leigh with a penalty.
Yeah, it's Joel Westerman who just catches him high. The go forward from Tom Amon. He hits some really good lines, comes off his right foot, gets back behind the grain. Joel Westerman finds himself at mark, and just that swinging arm over the top.
Seems to be some problem with the ball here. Josh Charnley had a ball. Touch judge deemed it not being the right ball, so we have to wait for another ball, and off we go. Finally, the game is back underway. Ipape. This is Holmes. Good strong run. Carrying it inside Castleford territory by a stride or two. Amon comes again, doing those big minutes once more. And Leigh with a chance to build. Moylan's gone dashing to that right-hand side to add a number to the attacking scope over there, but he's the man who's tackled. Hanley skipping it back to McNamara. Here's Ipape. Now it's Lamb. Lamb up to the line. Lutelli with the step. Little sway of the hips, but two of them waiting. Lamb. Now Ipape. Here's Amon. Wanted that ball and carries it with enthusiasm again. Last play. One to go. Oh, and Ipape's coming out. Trying to squeeze them in here. And there's a reach for the line, but I think that ball is held up. It is. And so Castleford survived the assault.
Well, it's not a bad option, is it? Letting the ball work either side of the field and having a little crack at the line when you're close to it with Kai O'Donnell. Like we said, he's devastating runner. He's hard to handle. Cordy Hall dealt with him though. Managed to hold him up over the line. Got to get out of trouble though now. All of a sudden it seems like since the introduction of Edwin Apape, they've stepped up a gear, Leigh.
Yeah, let's see how they really try to reduce Castleford's go forward here. Going wider to Miller, and here's Wood. Senior. Leigh's defence recovers and rebalances. But they're going to come and fly at them again here. Miller. Dealt with. Three to that left-hand side, but back to the middle and Westerman. Right along to Hoy. And here comes Hall. And Hall's pinned, searched out, put down by Lutelli. Senior puts it back on the inside. Milnes will kick towards the corner, and Moylan will just watch that out of play.
Do you know, that's a great kick, that. They've been on the back foot, they've been defending their own line, they held Leigh up on the try line. They go up the other end of the field, they get the ball off and over the sideline, and it's just about reassessing your goals and coming together and just being a bit calm now. Manage the game in the last 10 minutes. That's what we want your halves to do. Give you a bit of direction if you're starting to feel it in the middle of the field.
Well, we've got a good contest on our hands, haven't we? A little nip and tuck. Castleford having exploded into that lead, but Leigh having dragged it back again. Those stats just bearing out what we're watching. Ipape has to be patient again here. Slowish play the ball right to McNamara. Offers it back on the inside again. This is carried in by Frankie Holton. Holton almost up to the halfway line. Ipape delivering the bullets back to the middle again, and Amon. And now Lamb, and Lamb puts it back, and Moylan reaches and grasps. Lutelli has to cut back against the grain of that Castleford defence, and Amon just trying to bully his way through. One to go. Here's McNamara. Ball's going up end over end. Oh, and it's a big leap by Amila Hanley, but Senior got up there ahead of him.
That's a big take. I was watching him as well, and what he was doing, he was just totally focused on catching that ball under enormous pressure then. And dropped the ball on Senior's head, and he comes up trumps with it. You just have a little look. Doesn't take his eyes off the ball. Goes up, competition, comes down with it.
He's one of the tallest players in the game, isn't he? In his Senior.
Well, like I said, he's just so confident at the minute. 12 tries in his last 9 games. He knows how to play the game. It seemed like they've been around for ages, doesn't it? Years, the Senior twins.
Yeah. Milnes with a kick. He's looking for distance, and I think he might have found too much distance here. He has. Tap back on the 20. Advantage Leigh at the end of that.
Yeah, well, Leigh will get 7 tackles here, but do you know, I've heard that some coaches and some players saying that they'll give up that extra tackle just to get the distance on the kick and get out their own half and try and deal with it. Good meters after contact there from Amila Hanley.
There's Ipape waiting again. Hardacre has come a distance to get involved in the middle. Ipape. Moylan lingering, but Lamb's there. Back on the inside again for O'Donnell. Stretching the resolve and getting a penalty.
Yeah, you can see it again. It's Kai O'Donnell linking up. He doesn't half hit the accelerator. Kai O'Donnell, when he's coming onto the ball, he gives himself a chance. He's not the biggest, but when he comes back against the grain, there's a high shot from Zakim, who just goes over the shoulder, goes around the neck. Dead set penalty. And this is where they'll put themselves under pressure there now, Castleford.
So Castleford player being treated here. Not sure who it is. He's down on his haunches.
Is it young Sam Hall?
Well, there's obviously some concern there from Craig Lingard's point of view. Certainly interchange player ready to come on from the bench, because it's not looking good this at the moment. Just having a look down, it's not Westerman, because Westerman's jogging to the sidelines, and in fact it's he who is being interchanged. Westerman, that is the swap around, so maybe the medical staff are fairly confident that as bad as this might look at the moment, it should be okay. Westerman away for his well-earned rest.
He's had a big 35 minutes, hasn't he, Joe Westerman? Yeah, it is young Sam Hall.
Yep.
Missed just 1 game this week, 22 next week. He's a big raw-born player, and when he talks to the likes of Craig Lingard, he says that's what the future of Castleford looks like. The likes of Sam Hall.
That's where he got involved. I think a bit of friendly fire, wasn't it? It's a green card. It's a head injury assessment here as Hall goes off. So 15 minutes for him to be proven okay or not. And back onto the field comes Liam Watts in his place.
And he gets his head in the wrong position, doesn't he? Just dips a bit too low, comes off second best.
Holmes with the drive. Ipape in at dummy half. Back to McNamara. Lamb's getting involved as well, as is Moylan from full-back and Hardacre. Wood reaching out. Two more defenders there to make the tackle. Hanley. Swept back to Ipape again, and now Amon just straightening up and hitting forward with real intent, and it's another set of 6. Tackle can't reset. Holmes takes it forward. So 5 more plays right on their opponent's line here. Leigh looking for the key to unlock them. Well, they're just trying to barge the door down there with Amon, but he's kept away. Ipape lost the ball, but infringement from an offside position for Castleford players, and a penalty for Leigh.
Well, some big defence in the middle of the field there for Castleford. Asked a number of questions. Edwin Ipape just pulling the strings, bringing the big fellas onto the ball before he has a little crack himself. And they get another set of 6 here now to try and do some damage.
Another repeat. Castleford's tank will be drained here. Can they hang on? Ipape. McNamara slings it out to Lamb, and Lamb's got runners out there, including Moylan, and Moylan puts the brakes on and tries to step back on the inside, but that's just encouraged those Castleford defenders to get across and stop him.
Yeah, that's good work. Inside pressure from the defence.
Hanley, and they're bouncing into the hands of McNamara. Holmes chopped off at the knees. Hardly made a step. And here comes Ipape. Holmes has hurt himself here. He had a little look at Kane Robber after that tackle. They're going to try and burrow their way over, but Cassie's defence is switched on. And the 6th is the next. And it's picked up by Ipape. It was his kick. It bounced off a Castleford player. There was a Leigh player in amongst all of that, so the referee's not sure about this. Let's have a look. Try on the field. But it's another one for Liam Moore to have a look at.
Okay, it's tackle 5, live decision on field of the try. So confirm it comes from the kick, confirming the chasers are onside there. So I'm happy to play it on at this point. So we're going to go to camera 1. So confirming chaser onside from that point. It's played out by Cass anyway, so it's play on. So we're just on this now, so what happens to the ball? So the ball's still live, ball's backwards, picked up by Ipape. So play on at this point, we're just on the grounding now. So we'll just review the camera 2 for the grounding, just confirm Ipape does maintain possession of the ball. So, and the ball is grounded. I made my decision.
Well, the Leigh fans were celebrating because they were watching that screen as well, and they could see that it was going to be a try. Liam Moore will press the button to say it is a try, confirmed, and it is now all square again with a kick to come, and a match in which they were 10-0 down. In just a moment, Leigh could find themselves ahead.
It's since the introduction of that man, Edwin Ipape. What a big 11 minutes that he's had. He's been here a couple of years, scored 32 tries now in 57 games. He certainly knows how to get to the try line and get over. If he's got the players around him doing the job, he can certainly cause some damage. And he just backs up his own kick, comes over there, and just look, the excitement, the delight on his face. And like I said, a huge 11 minutes for him and Leigh.
He's box office in Leigh, and he's a try scorer again in Leigh. And they're singing his name. And Moylan settles himself to look to add the 2, which he does. And from being a long way back, they now edge ahead at 12 points to 10 with half-time looming here. What a time to score.
Yeah, Adrian Lamb knows that he's got a resilient side there. They learned an awful lot about themselves last year. They bring in the likes of Matt Moylan as they sprinkle that stardust on the side that he already had assembled. Just follows up his kit, Edwin Ipape. Loves to play the game, loves to get the ball in his hand and attack. Well, let me tell you, can also defend as well. And now Leigh, now they seem to be in the groove.
Well, the mood's changed, hasn't it, considerably in these parts, from a quiet mulling over of events to a celebration of the most recent activity of those Leigh players. But it remains a tight game, but just at the moment, Leigh very much on top. Pape back across there, delivering it to Amon again, and he's been tireless, and this pass away has suddenly got Trout on his travels, and he's been grabbed at, and El Zakim just about able to slow him down enough. But Leigh again are in prime position, and they'd fancy another score here before the break. Lutelli, senior, tried to get there. This is Charnley. Charnley! Oh! He had no right to get that one down, but he might just have pulled off what seemed impossible.
Tackle 4. No try.
No try on the field. Well, certainly the flag went over, but that doesn't count. Let's have a hear of what the video referee has to say.
Okay, live decision is no try on the field, so looking to see if Charnley drops the ball. So first of all, easy infield of play. He's in the field of play with his hand maintained on the ball. So he's definitely in the field of play. I've established that. I just need to confirm his hand stays on the ball. So I'm going to put camera on just to confirm that. Yeah, so we're going to finish on. You can see here, Charnley's hand always remains on the ball. There's no separation between hand and ball, and the ball is grounded. So I do have sufficient evidence here to overturn the live call. Charnley's hand always remains on the ball, and the ball is grounded. I've made my decision.
Well, that was mission impossible from the moment Charnley got that. But that is a very special try by a very special try scorer. The 298th of his career now. And my goodness, there are not many wingers who could have got that one down.
He's as powerful as any prop forward. Look, he's got a big frame on him. Coming out of trouble, he's exceptional when he's carrying the ball. And let me tell you, if you're a big forward and you're sucking in the big ones and you need a bit of a breather, you give the ball to this man and he'll cause some damage. And he had no right to score this try. Look, it's a great offload, isn't it? From the telly. Nice hands from Moylan, but as soon as it gets to Charnley, the power of the reaction says it all. And I thought he'd scored the try just because of the amount of times he's been over the try line. He knows how to finish a try. He gets the hands on the ball, and it's just see you later. It's a sucker punch to concede just before half-time, isn't it, for Cass?
Well, there's a hooter. Moylan's ready to take the kick, but the Charnley reaction there tells you a lot, doesn't it? Because he's not over effusive. He's fairly well contained, fairly kind of feet on the ground, but the way he celebrated that, he knew that took some scoring, and the kick has been added as well. And look at this, 18 points to 10 at half-time. Leigh leading the game. They have turned this right around.
Wow, incredible, wasn't it? He scored the first try on 26 minutes, and like I said, Adrian Lamb sent on Edwin Apapi on 25 minutes. The game seemed to change then, and all of a sudden we were looking down towards Castleford's line.
Well, they will go off. Adrian Lamb goes off to score next. Castleford in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. The introduction of Edwin Apapi, like, that was the difference for me. The last 13 minutes, they scored 3 tries. The opening exchanges, the opening 25 minutes belonged to Castleford. They looked really, really good. They looked comfortable. They were communicating in defence. They've just got to recognise what Leigh are doing, where their players are going to be. The likes of Matt Moylan, Lachlan Lamb, when they're on a shift play, they're the big key indicators to where the ball's going.
News at half-time as well, by the way, that Sam Hall, the Castleford player who we saw going off, has failed his HIA. So that is a bit of a blow for Cass, reduces their interchange numbers as well. It just makes life a little more difficult for them.
That is a big blow for them, because he's a young buck. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's got Liam Watts and Joe Westerman, who've got plenty of miles on their clock, so it would have given them a rest and made the back end of the game a bigger impact when they come back on.
Lewis Senior with that initial carry for Cass, who have a job to do here, finding themselves 8 points behind the early stages of this second half here. And we were royally entertained with what we saw in the first half from both these sides. We were royally entertained by the Lancashire Hot Pots, who provided the music at half-time, including their all-time classic "Has the Bin Man Been Ma'am," which was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well done to them. Just part of what you'd expect here at the Leigh Sports Village in terms of entertainment. Here's Hoy. trying to make a break. Cut down. Still 10 short of that halfway line. On again by Mellor, but still a yard or two away from their opponent's territory. Cass are forced to kick on the last play. Pumped downfield by Milnes, caught safely enough by Moylan, and here comes Hanley to try and bring it back again.
They were desperate to try and find the grasp, but Matt Moylan had it all covered. Oh, Mills, when he kicked that ball, he was coming off a bit of a slow play, the ball. And the wingers had dropped back. And now all of a sudden they're on the front foot. Josh Charnley coming in from the wing, and he looks to bump, he looks to get down. He's got one of the quickest play the balls for Leigh. Look at that, can't be dominated or turned on his back.
There's a Pape going out, and again there's a bit of vibrancy to Leigh here as they look to get themselves downfield as quickly as possible. Moylan is out there. Lamb just slips as he tries to take it on. So easy meet for the Castleford defenders. Moylan again under a little bit of pressure there from the advancing Kane Robb, but he does get it high, and Hoy does well to avoid the first defender, but can't find his feet for a sprinkling run downfield.
Well, he does his job at the back, catches the ball, but they're under a bit of pressure here now. Leigh just roll forward. Look at that dominant defence.
Interesting to see how many minutes Ipape does in this second half now, whether he stays on the field for the rest of the game. I suppose that depends on how the game flows from here. If Leigh find themselves in a commanding lead, they might just decide to give them a little bit of an easier time after that long layoff. But Cass at the moment looking to pick out the meters. Milnes with a kick.
Not made many metres though, did he? Was about 20 metres, but carrying the ball. Milnes just can't quite get the distance on that kick.
Here's McNamara. Over the head of Moylan into the hands of Lamb, and it's been dropped by Lutelli. And that is very clumsy and potentially quite costly here for Leigh, because it's a gift of a position for Cass.
Well, they had a big set of six defensively. Adrian Lamb knew that his side then, just early stages in this second half, that had a couple of sets. They defended really well. They made plenty of metres carrying the ball. And Ricky Lutelli, one of the most experienced players in a Leigh jersey, makes an uncharacteristic error, shakes his head and disappointed. They know now that if they put another score on Cass, the heads might just go.
Cass can get themselves up and running. It is game on again very much, and Robb having a little look out of the back of the scrum. Liam Horn up there as well. There's no shortage of exponents of that dummy half position, have they, Cass? Paul McShane off the field at the moment. Here's Robb. Milnes, Miller. Advancing comes El Zakim. They're just providing an interest here for their fans behind the sticks in terms of what comes next. Horn again, but gathering in defenders as he travels. Robb picks up and comes left, and it's flown back to Milnes. It's a difficult ball. Miller's done well to flick it on here. Step back inside for Innes Senior. One to go. Wasn't designed that way by Cass, but just about sticks to their palms. Miller with a kick. Punched back. Caught by Watts of all people. And that's why you don't often see prop forwards in that position with that kind of a kick.
No, it's not the right man to get the ball. Even though he doesn't, kicks it dead, but Matt Moylan just made plenty of metres, didn't he? On the back of that, now Josh Charnley. Sloppy end to the set, really, from Cass.
Here's Lutelli. He's having a mistake of giving his side that pressure to deal with, but they have dealt with it, and Holmes now. And Ipape. What a return for him so far. An influence and a try. Moylan's kick chases on. It's Hanley who's leading the chase, but that ball will bounce again. It's not a great kick from Moylan's point of view, and instead of Cass being under intense pressure, they've got a bit of relief here with the extra tackle.
Well, I said that before, that when Cass kicked the ball, they were desperate they were desperate to meet us just to get out their own end. Matt Moylan will be disappointed that that didn't hold up. That was like the flip side of it. When you want the ball to stay in field, you'd had the pressure, you turned Cass around. Cass couldn't quite dominate Leigh up near the other end of the field, and they finished that set poorly.
Kane Rob's ball inside. Watts has to reach for that. Miller comes on now. There's a little bit of excitement in the ranks as they move it, but excitement dulled by Leigh's defensive efforts. Pick up by Rob, and Horn to Milnes, and working its way wide right here to Hall, who's trying to create a bit of space, and it's well kept alive by Senior, and this is good from Cass, and they get a penalty. The referee was just allowing a bit of an advantage there, and then goes back to where the high shot was.
Well, they'll take this, won't they? They're quite happy, quite confident. They get all of this. Senior with the high shot, played the advantage. Sakim looks a handful when he carries the ball. Looks very strong. He can get a one-on-one.
Horn. Pump inside to Brad Martin. Martin put down, but only 15 away. Saw him score a try earlier this season at the Jungle, where he showed an incredible turn of pace, Martin. He went about 50 yards. It's not a bad attribute for a man down the middle. Wants to pass away. El Zakim trying to keep the arms free, does well. Watts, but here's old mucker Ollie Holmes anticipating and putting him down. Milnes, Miller, here's Hoy over the top, but there's no real passage there, because Hanley in position and closing down in his Senior. Miller again. Well, they're running out of tackles. Martin to play, Rob to pass, Miller to carry it on. Milnes again, he slides it through, the chase is on, but Moylan's done well to get across there, and not quite back in a field of play, but he had a good effort at that.
You know, I thought that if he left that ball, I thought it was going dead. So Leigh would have got the ball back and they would have tapped the ball on the 20. He chose to make a play at it, didn't he, Matt Moylan? Nice little kick from Milnes. Well, just the extra bounce, but just probably those Castleford plays in the green jersey just spooked Moylan and made him go for that ball, trying to get back in the field of play. You know, another set of 6, give him a bit of possession, give him a bit of position on the field, and they've got enough players that can cause some damage, Cass.
Yeah. What's that feeling to the game, isn't there, where Leigh had all the momentum in the second half of the first half, but just feels a little bit more in the balance now, doesn't it?
Well, you'll always tend to find that games go in waves, don't they? It started off where Cass had all the possession, position, they seemed to be playing in a positive manner. Then the back end of the set, it was all Leigh. And just both of them now just feeling each other out in the opening 10 minutes of the second half.
Ex-Leeds Academy prop, Brad Martin. Rob. Miller. Watts trying to stand in the tackle and maybe keep that ball moving away, but Leigh's defence had other ideas. Over the head into the hands of Miller. Miller. Pape seeking him out like a heat-seeking missile, but Miller gets it away, but the man he gives it to, Liam Horn, hasn't got much opportunity to turn that into anything more. Incisive diagonal from Miller. Rob, and now Miller. And here's Milnes, and he's got that kick into a decent position, and it's going to be a video referee here because Lewis Senior touched it down. I mean, certainly there was a Cass man, and Corey Hall got a hand on it, but has it gone backwards? Oh, no try. Let's hear from the video referee.
Okay, it's tackle 5. Like this is no try, so this comes to kick, confirming they're onside. We've got one player offside to the right, so we'll just follow it through to see his involvement with the play. So it's Tex Hoy. Yeah, he's outside 10 anyway, so we're going to go close up now to see who this touch is. So it's Corey Hall up for the ball, and that touches Corey Hall there. And that goes forward in relation to the ground. Just going to confirm that on the wide. You can see it touches Corey Hall here, and the ball goes forward in relation to the ground. So we'll finish on clearly off, no touch off Charnley, Corey Hall, and that ball goes forward in relation to the ground. I've made my decision.
Yep, we had a controversial one like that, didn't we, the other week? Was it Huddersfield at Leeds with a ball that Clunes similarly knocked forward in the first place? That try was given that day, but the correct decision this time. The ball clearly going forward before he managed to... I mean, a good effort from Corey Hall, but it was clearly the right decision there.
Yeah, well, he gets himself in that action early, doesn't he? You know, Rome Mills, you know exactly what's coming up. If you're a winger or a centre, Corey Hall knew what he had to do, trying to put pressure on Charlie. Unfortunately, the ball goes forward. A chance they had, and a chance created as well, just because they had that field position.
But, yeah, it shows that they're still in the game here.
Still in the game. They believe that they can win this game. There would have been a lot of positive talk about they had probably the better sort of game in the opening stage, but they give a penalty away now. That's the undoing of teams sometimes. You know, you get a bit of frustration, you don't score the try, you don't get the call that you're after, and you back it up with a penalty.
Yeah. And this is a chance for Leigh just to give themselves that self-assured nature that they had in the first half towards the end. McNamara. And now Amon with a big drive forward again. I mean, he's lost none of his energy, has he? Brilliant effort by him. Ipape. Davis is on the field with a step. Ipape will go left. Lamb offers it back on the inside. But Castleford's defence remains rigid. But they are going to be tested here. Ipape comes again. Amon will offer them that test again. But they've got the strength of mind to hold him away, and strength of body. Lamb with a short pass. Lutelli will burst through, and Leigh do re-establish themselves as being very comfortable in this game. An extension of the lead, 22 points to 10.
Well, the door was creaking on the other end of the field. Corey Hall was denied a try. They go up the other end, then they get a penalty, and on the back of that, all of a sudden, it's hey boys, hey. Tom Lamont, I thought he was exceptional. 2 carries in the build-up to this, and Lockie Lamb, you just see the damage that he does when he carries the ball. He gets defenders interested, has the ball in 2 hands. Corey Hall, Rome Mills, just both looking at what he's doing, Lamb. And then you get Lutelli on the outside shoulder of Hall that goes in. It's a try that they'll be disappointed conceding.
Very much settles the mood in here again. They weren't getting antsy, were they? They weren't getting over anxious, but that try just puts Leigh further in the ascendancy, and that's gone down well with the locals. How did Castleford react to this?
Well, they were trying to build pressure up near Leigh's line, and obviously the result didn't come for them. They didn't get the points up there. They wanted to start strongly and be first to score in the second half, and on the back of not getting the reward, the next set 6 they concede, they'll be so disappointed.
So 14 points the difference. Makes it a 3-score game. Always significant when the scoreline reaches that point, isn't it? Leigh players being applauded as they return back to their end of the field. Meantime, Matt Moylan gets himself ready here. 2 out of 2, 3 out of 3 so far from Moylan, and he's dropped it over the crossbar. North Stand behind the sticks celebrating before the flags were raised to confirm. But Leigh now lead by 24 points to 10, and looking good for that.
Yeah, they look patient as well. There's plenty of movement when they're attacking. And the forwards, I think Tom Amon again, he's just been so good for Adrian Lamb today, carrying the ball forward and giving his backs a real platform, and Craig Lingard knows that he needs a response from his players.
We're talking about the big games in the first half that Leigh have got coming up in the next few weeks. Castleford have got some testers. St Helens at home next week. And given what St Helens have done today, got thumped a little by Hawkinston Rovers, then Saints you'd expect a reaction. So Castle will be up against it there, and then they've got Hull at home the week after that, and that's a really big game at the bottom end of the table. And then Leeds away in that 3rd game of that run.
Well, 4 of the next 5 are are at home, so that will give them a chance.
There's a confirmation. Wigan and Hull KR coming up after that as well, so they need to be in decent shape ahead of those two games.
And that's why it was so important that they turn up here today and they try and get a result and pick up 2 league points, because they got home advantage in 4 of those games. Exactly what they needed, get the home fans behind them.
Well, defeat today, you'd have probably said this anyway, and I don't think anyone at Castleford was fooling themselves that they were going to make a push for the 6. But defeat today rules that out, doesn't it? Leigh, on the other hand, are still a long way back, but if they can put a run together and they start closing that gap on the playoff positions, who knows? And playing with a bit of confidence and fluidity as they are now, they will fancy their chances. Moylan looking for the corner. Has he overcooked that? No, it's not. Charlie with a wonderful ball back on the inside. And the referee again is going to go for the video referee to have a look at that. Is Lutelli underneath it? Well, let's hear from the video referee.
I'm getting a lot of static as well.
Okay, it's tackle 5. Live decision is no try on field. So comes from a kick, so confirming onside. So we've got one play offside to the left. Let's track him. He appears, he's always outside 10 there. Yeah, we can play on at this point. So we're going to look at the contest now. So let's see what happens here. So both running towards the ball. Happy with that at that point. Any contact there is accidental. I'm happy to play on at this point. So Charlie takes possession. So where is his feet? His feet are in the field of play at this point. Still in the field of play. Just confirm that. I'm just going to confirm that on camera 1. Just to confirm it. Go back on this, yeah. So feet are in the field of play. Can see green there. Can see green between his foot. We're playing on. Foot's up at that point, and the ball has gone. So we're playing on. So he's in the field of play. I've established that. And Lutelli then takes possession. So let's look at the grounding now. So this probably isn't going to be the best one. Let's see if we get anything from a higher shot. So we can see this might help us. Just confirm he does, in fact, maintain possession. So ball's there. It's a genuine attempt to tackle that. So it's on his knees. And he's regathered possession there. So he's still got the ball. So that's a re-grip of the ball. So we're playing on at this point. So does he get the ball down? He's always under the ball at that point. Always under the ball. Still always under the ball. And you can see that ball is always up. I've made my decision.
I'm getting a lot of static. A lot of static. Yeah. Okay, I'm getting a lot of static. What can we do about it? Okay.
Well, no try. Well explained again by Liam Moore. Clear vision. Once you've got the technicalities on your side and you can see all the angles, makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Well,
no try.
Well, that tackle from Texoy has just kept Castleford in this game. It was a good kick, wasn't it, from Moylan, and good play from Josh Charnley. Gets the ball back inside, but at number 34, second game for Cass, Texoy just saves the day and manages to hold him up. Well, it would have been a certain try, and just gives them a bit of hope in this game now.
Yeah, that was game over.
Yeah.
If that had scored, that was game over, wasn't it?
Look, 14 points behind in this with what, 27 minutes to go. They're still in this game, Cass.
We've got a delay here because the referee is getting his earpiece fixed. So don't forget, lots of action coming up this next week or so, and that is going to be immense, isn't it? Warrington, Hull KR, 7:30 next Thursday. Given the form that Hull KR are in, they're on that run. Hull KR, they lost to Catalan. Disappointing from their point of view, but they've beaten Wigan, they've beaten St Helens back-to-back. If they claim the scalp of Warrington, my goodness, we're already taking them seriously. But Warrington likewise looking to establish themselves as a big-time team this year as well in the Sam Burgess. So that match next week means an awful lot to both clubs and to the watching Super League neutrals. This is Wood rather, who's 10 short of the halfway line. In his senior, throws it back to Miller. Well read.
Yeah, that's a great reading defence, isn't it? That's how you cut the player down if you pull the trigger.
Miller goes left and Milnes with the kick off that left foot of his, but Hanley had it judged right from the moment it left the bootlaces. He was in position, didn't move, barely an inch.
Well, desperate for an error now here. Castle needs some decent lines, being some decent shots.
Talk about the X's. Here's another X. Hardacre against his former club. Seems a long time ago now, doesn't it, since he was flashing around in the amber of Cass.
Was it 2017 when they were outstanding that year, Cass, if you remember, under Darryl Powell?
Ipape back on the inside again. Louis Brogan, who we've just seen there on the field. What a big day for him as well, Louis Brogan, wearing the number 30 on his back. Debut for the Leigh Leopards. Meantime, Hoy's lost the ball, and well, the touchdown, and it is Louis Brogan who's claiming the try moments after coming on. This is a big call from the referee. Try on the field. What a day this could be for Louis Brogan. Let's hear from the video ref.
Okay, lad, this is a try. Again, this comes from a kick, so ball's on foot there. We've got certainly three lead chasers who are offside. So let's track them through, please. Yep, so he's never played on back onside. Let's just confirm who they are. So Moylan is good, so he's the one who is onside. So let's play it through. At this point, let's see what happens. So Moylan's the one competing. I just want to check where he comes from, the 30, number 30. So we're just going to look now just to confirm where he comes from. Yeah, so you can see here he's offside to the right. So Moylan and Brogan are offside. Never played back onside. So what happens with Brogan? So you can see that it's a realistic position to get the ball. And you can see he's competing there. Let's just see if contact's made, then we'll go back. So we're going to go on. Does he make contact in the air? Takes possession. Just look at all angles on this. Obviously, this might help us. So does he make contact in the air? Yes, he does. Contact in the air is made there. I've made my decision.
Oh, Louis Brogan's just had a fairy tale ripped up. He would have been in absolute dreamland there. The try's not given, but seconds after coming onto the field for his debut. And it's not given, it's not given. Poor lad,
yeah.
He's going to be disappointed now, isn't he?
Yeah, 18th man last week made his name down the road at Leigh Miners. The ball goes up, and you can just see when he gets hold of that ball, Hoy, you can see that he was just taken out. If Moylan's hands were up in the air above his head, well, obviously it's a contest for the ball, but because he makes contact with the body, that's why it's ruled out.
Yeah, it's the right decision. It's the right decision. We're not arguing with the video referee, but that would have been a storyline for Louis Brogan. Qualified electrician, amongst other things. Very nearly a try scorer on his debut, but not given. Meantime, Castleford still, as a result of that, have just a little foothold in this game. Have to score 3 times. Time's against them. It's ticking by, only 23 minutes left to play. They certainly cannot afford to concede again. Rob dashes in at dummy half. They do score next, and it suddenly becomes a little more tense. This is Watts, puts it back to Miller. Miller with a kick towards the corner. Woods underneath it, has taken it. The ball goes free. Hanley drops on it. It's a handover.
Yeah, they make the mistake, and Leigh will get the ball 10 metres from the line, but it's still not a bad place to turn the ball over. Look, you've got to ask as many questions as you can. And Liam Watts gets hold of that ball. He's looking for someone else, the likes of Jacob Miller, to come up with something. And what they need now is some urgency, some push, some aggressive defence here.
There's Charnley, just carting it in. The other aspect of a winger's job.
How times have changed there. Years ago, they used to be just try-scorers out on the wing and looking really good. Now they carry the ball strongly and get it on the front foot.
Pepe coming on to Holmes, and Holmes just another nibbling few yards made forward, that's all. Castleford's defence is got some enthusiasm about to it at the moment. Pepe will kick it away. Easy one for Hoy, no pressure at all, either with a catch or the chase. And that means Cass can start from there, so they again got a bit of optimism in this set of 6 coming now.
Well, they want it as far away from their try line as possible, don't they? They won't quite manage to get into Leigh's half now with that second carry, but I'm sure with this play now they will do. Paul McShane coming back onto the field now, which will surely help them. He's rugby smarts around the middle.
Kane Robb's gone off, McShane immediately getting involved as well. Here's Brad Martin, puts it back to Miller, and now Hoy's involved as well. A reach for Innes Senior. Myler Hanley's got a hold of him. McShane getting on a bit now in his mid-30s, Paul McShane, but still a very, very excellent player. And gets the offload from the tall Sam Wood. Going no further. Horn dealt with. One play to go. It's Milnes. It's an untidy pass on the last play, puts them under pressure. Kick over the top by Corey Hall. Easy take for Moylan. Moylan's having a look to see how unsettled that Castleford defence is, whether he can take advantage, and Leigh start from there.
It's good footwork though, isn't it? Gets him out of trouble. The kick from Hall, then the pressure. This is easy meters again. Look at that carry, leaving players on the ground. They can't get back, they can't get set. Josh Charnley now just gets Leigh over the halfway.
It's a good little scoot out of dummy half, that, isn't it, by the winger? Putting his side on the front foot, Ollie Holmes. Takes some dealing with, 3 defenders. This is a Pape. Davis. McNamara. Little dummy. And then he's opened up the gap with that dummy as well, and Holton goes striding through. Hoy with an important tackle. Hardacre carries on, and it's a penalty. It's a penalty because the tackle was complete, and therefore he's nodding his head there, Davis, as if to say, I did know that. It was a cheeky one. I was trying to get away with it.
Yeah, 100%. Good line from him, wasn't it? He knew that that tackle was complete. When he went down, all the fans were thinking it was all in one move. When he rolls out of it and gets up.
So again, Castleford surviving.
I like James Vella, the referee. He's had a lot of control, a lot of talk with the players. Always a sign of a good game when you don't really talk about what the ref's doing. Nice play.
And here comes Hoy, and look how many are in support as well. Wood being one of them, and he will finish this, Sam Wood, and he'll get into a very kickable position from when he touches down. And suddenly the game is just a little alight again here, because Castleford have given themselves real hope.
Well, classic Cast, that's what they had the tag years ago. A nice little play, wasn't it? Craig Lingard's men right the way till the final whistle. They'll be competing. The results that they've had lately, and the win against Salford, the win last week against London, Jacob Miller pulling the strings. You like what they do. And Wood, when Tex Hoy goes through here, he knows that he's just got to fix Matt Moylan, and he's got to deliver that pass accurately in front of Wood. And Tex Hoy, what a pickup he has been. And he gives that ball, Jacob Miller in support, but Wood goes over. I mean, I think when you look at like Sam Wood, I think he's a quality player. He doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. He really does go to work carrying the ball, doing the right stuff. But what a kick here now from Rome Mills.
Yeah. This to narrow the gap if he puts this over to only 8 points. My goodness, kind of squirted off his boots, didn't it? But it has gone over. 24-16, and there's a glimmer there. The door's ajar. Can the Tigers push it open?
Well, I think you'll see a confident Cast side now. Look, they were under the pump. Did they believe that they could score 3 tries at the back end of this game? I'm not so sure. But I really like the play there from Alex Mellor. When he shapes that up, everyone thinks the ball's going to go open, or he's going to carry the ball, Mellor. But no, they go down that short side. Leigh had switched off, and they'll be so disappointed with that. Zach Hardacre and Myler Hanley, especially Zach Hardacre, a very good defender. Craig Lingard, the little smile says it all. He knows it's game on now.
It is, and there is still ample time. 18 minutes to go. It's been a strange old game, this, hasn't it? Looking forward to more twists and turns, potentially. Here's Brad Martin.
Well, he knew he just had to do his best then, Brad Martin. He knew what was coming then. On the back of conceding points now, you're going to get a few of these Leigh players just charging off the line and trying to intimidate Cass.
Mills helping it out again, and Hoy with a bit of a skip and trying to break that line early. Flung to the ground. Cumberland wrestling style by Lachlan Lamb. Now it's Westerman. This is McShane, who's standing at dummy half. It's not a quick play, the ball. Flicks it out again. El Zakeen can't drag himself through. Only one play left in the set. So Cass looking for depth on the kick from Mills again, and Myler Hanley does very well to cover the ground and take what was a difficult kick there. Yeah, it was swerving in the air.
It was swerving, it was spinning everywhere. A nice kick from Noel Mills, and Cass now really nice and condensed, trying to get into that ruck area and make it as slow as possible.
This is a Pape. Just steady carry here from Leigh's point of view. Davis on to Holmes. McNamara having a look round the fringes. Hardacre. McNamara. Pape's there. And here comes Holmes again. Hitting in. Going down. Last play. Leigh travelled well so far. Davis, this is the sixth tackle that Davis finds himself in possession in, and Lachlan Lamb eventually gets that kick out. Miller should and does catch the ball, and Cass starting from here.
Well, they nearly blew it then, didn't they, when the ball goes into Davis's hand. I'm not so sure whether they thought that they were going to play, they were going to attack over on the left-hand side, but they managed to get away with it when Lamb got hold of the ball and kicked it.
Innes Senior striding forward. McShane comes in at dummy half. Castleford trying to blast themselves out of trouble here. Try scorer Sam Wood with another carry. Leigh fans finding their voice here to try and encourage their side to see this one out. They're still very much favourites, but they're just a little under pressure. And now it's Lewis Senior. Knew he was going out of play, had to throw it back in field, and in so doing has given the ball away. It's a knock on.
Wow. No, they looked to get him, didn't they? He shifted the ball. Senior got it. He knew he was going to go off the island, so he threw the ball back inside. And they managed to get the ball on halfway. Another set of 6 for Cass. Like we were saying before, Dave, the game goes in waves. He just can't quite get on the outside of Charnley, but he manages to get the ball back in field, and because of Zakeem putting pressure on O'Donnell, he makes the error.
Well, you've got to buy a raffle ticket to win the raffle, haven't you? And they bought that ticket there, and they got a little bit of luck, did Cass, and they'll be encouraged by that. And here comes Hoy, and now it's with Corey Hall again. And they've only got 30 yards to cover, and 5 tackles in which to do it. They are just asking questions here, and you're not sure that Leigh will have all the right answers just at the moment. Hill gets up and plays. Westerman flinging it backwards. Miller picks up off the bounce. Oh, his pass is poor. They're in danger of losing the ball here. They have. Well, that was really sloppy from the Tigers.
Really, really poor. Disappointing from Cass, really. I was looking for Tex Hoy. He was over on the right-hand side. A pretty dominant defence from Liam Horn there. We were looking for Hoy to link in. He's got so much speed, and he can unlock this Leigh side.
Well, those moments that they call coach killers.
And all that comes down to, really, is just communication, Dave.
I see Pape back to the middle again, and Leigh again just looking for some honest endeavour here. Keeping hold of the ball, running the clock down a little further, with 13 minutes left to play. But they're on the last. McNamara again forced the kick, with the defensive line advancing towards him, but he's got that away. It's taken safely enough by Innes Senior. And Miller moves in, and acting our position. Castleford Again, tired bodies out there at the moment, Terry. They've been involved in a battle, both of them, but it's dipping on willpower, isn't it now?
Yeah, well, some of the bigger forwards now in both sides really be looking for the outside backs to bring this game home. Joe Westerman again at the line.
Advancing through Hall. Hall goes down. Senior striding again, but again they're on the last, and they're still a good way away from that that line of celebration which they're aiming for. But Hoy, Moylan, very simple take, very simple kick, and no pressure at all there on Moylan, and almost getting his way through defence as well.
Castle got three genuine kick options, haven't they, in Rowan Miller, Jacob Miller and Texoy. So when they're looking to shift that ball, you don't know who's going to kick it. And you like the intent in that line speed. Just stops Hanley dead.
Hardacre skipping away from one, but not the second.
And it's Corey Hall who just comes in and dominates Zach Hardacre.
Charnley. That's a very flashy blue boots today, just Charnley. Which helps him stand out from a crowd. Try scoring skills are another aspect that also helps him stand out from a crowd. McNamara back on the inside, and here comes an effort from Hughes. Angular. Ipape. McNamara, Lamb rather. This is Moylan. And quickly away, and it's gone to Charlie. The referee says play on, and that will be the match winner from Ricky Lutelli. But there's a question to be asked here. Can't be about the forward pass. There looked like a suspicious forward pass there.
Have a try. Confirm grounding, please.
Confirm the grounding. Let's have a listen to the video referee.
Okay, it's tackle 5, live decision on field as a try. So we're just looking at the grounding here to confirm Lachlan Lamb does ground the ball. He's in possession at this point. Just confirm from, he does maintain possession of the ball, just confirming that from this angle. Hands on the ball there, just confirming that. Yeah, downward pressure and control, and we'll finish on camera 9. Ball's grounded. I made my decision.
Well, Lachlan Lamb has been in that role, hasn't he, many times in this last couple of years, as a lead player, as a match winner, and when that try is confirmed, I think we can safely say now that Leigh are going to win this game. Big, big win for them, backing up on that Catalan victory last week. They needed that to break the spirits of the Cas Tigers, but surely now it's a task too large for Castleford to come back from.
Well, you'd surely think so, wouldn't you? Just the injection of pace from Lachlan Lamb. He made his 50th appearance last week, and that ball goes out wide. And there was a couple of suspicious ones there. The Cas fans were thinking that was going to be called back. Well, this is just late. Full pace. You can see the work that they do. They get on the inside of some of those Cas defenders. They create the space on the edge, and Lachlan Lamb, we saw it before with Matt Moylan, once they pass the ball, they never give up on the play. They support to get themselves in the frame, and they've been tested in this second half. But like you say, it looks like that they're going to get the rewards.
Well, there is something on this kick here, because difference at the moment is 12 points. Kick again puts them in 3-score territory, so just a little bit of pressure here. Matt Moylan just regaining his poise, knowing that this is one of the most difficult positions on a field to kick from. Leigh fans will be hoping and praying here. I don't think he's got enough on that, has he? No, he's not. He hasn't. So there's still a hint of a hope for Cas. But surely Leigh have got the job done with that Lachlan Lamb try.
Yeah, quality play from a quality player, Lachlan Lamb. As soon as he gets that ball on this left-hand side, you've got the shape. The ball from Moylan for me and the ball from Lutelli, there's question marks on that, whether they went forward. But the referee, well, he didn't think so. They go short here, they get the ball. Great take
Super
Sam Wood.
by Sam Wood, yeah. Tex Hoy taking the gamble, taking the risk, because that's the territory that Cas find themselves in now. They have to roll the dice a couple of times, you suspect, in what remains of this game. 9 minutes. It's still possible, still plausible.
Well, that's it. It's all hands on deck now. You're not going to win this game with 5 drives and a kick. You've got to ask some questions.
Horn with a dash. McShane, a dummy half. Westerman to his left now. This is Westerman, throws it out to Miller. Miller now, quickly batted on by Hoy, and here's a chance, and it is game on again. It is Senior, is over once more. His first of the game, and suddenly Castleford have sprung back to life again.
Incredible. You can't stop scoring in his Senior, and that's exactly what they needed. You just look at those fans celebrate now. They were staying till the end, but they knew how important that missed kick was from Moylan. Like you said, Dave, it keeps them in the game. There's a big kick coming now here from Rowan Milnes, but you like the short kickoff. They ask some questions. Sam Wood comes up, he gets the ball up against Zach Hardacre, and Paul McShane shapes to go one way, come back the other. Nice little tip-on play from Tex Hoy, who just taps the ball out to Senior, and he has the presence of mind just to get outside of the man playing against him, get the ball down. Wow, haven't we got a game on now?
Well, Leigh fans are booing here. Not sure why, but doesn't seem too much controversial in that. And Rowan Milnes with a kick to narrow the gap. Oh, that's why they're booing. They're trying to put Rowan Milnes off the kick. That's what that's all about. Well, again, it's a tough position to start from as a goal kicker here. But he puts this one over, and Cas know they are potentially back in golden point territory. Well, he's hit that really well. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. That's a kick under pressure, and he has produced. And 28-22, and we've written this game off a little early.
Do you know, nerves of steel. I'd fluff it from underneath the sticks, me. You know, the pressure of that kick, and Rowan Milnes. Well, ball out of hand, he's been very good, and Craig Lingard's got a player there who he's brought to the club, knowing what he's got. 6 goals last week, scored a try also. He's got some nice skills, but Senior, that try, how important's that?
Stay behind.
Well, one of the new signings this year, wasn't he, in his Senior, and he's certainly proving a massive reward on the investment they put on him. And Castleford now are going to go for it. They're going to go for it. Miller gets it away. Wood just finds his way blocked. No way through. Leigh defenders are back there quickly, but there's some nerves now. There's some tension around this place. McShane back on the field, using those defenders behind the ruck almost as a foil. Quickly paid. Innes Senior picks it up. He carries on.
That's a nice quick set from Cas.
McShane again. Westerman now. Westerman puts it out. Milnes. El Zakim. Westerman's there again. Hoy just stands and looks, and then dashes forward, but he's pinned. They've still got tackles in the bag here as well. Westerman slinging it out to Miller. Miller with a no-look pass, and inside goes Miller from Miller, and McShane, and this is the last. And Miller again tries to find a position to kick from. Moylan's right on the chase. There's hardly any chase there.
Yeah, that's poor.
But at least they pin him down 5 from his own line.
Yeah, that's really poor. That's got to be a contest, that. Look, you've got, what, 6 minutes to go in the game, and that ball goes in the air. Like, you've got to contest it. Like, you can't just sit back now and hope your defensive line and your structures are really good. Contest every opportunity.
Well, they're turning on the heat in defence here. Cas trying to keep Leigh penned down there. Lutelli picks up from dummy half, and he'll have a robust run forward, as no doubt. Tom Moun's on the field. He's getting ready to carry this next one, and here he comes and hammers it in. Castleford defenders, 3 of them dancing around, but they've reduced Leigh to 40 metres from the opening 5. So Moylan on the 6. El Zakim closing down, but he gets the kick away, and Tex Hoy will collect it, and Castleford can start again here. Not from the best of places, but with ball in hand and 80 metres to go, they will still consider themselves a viable winner on this afternoon of drama. Mellor McShane.
Well, Paul McShane just asking now what's on from everybody else. Needs a bit of help here from Hoy and Jacob Miller.
Well, they're working that blind side, are they? No, they come back to the middle again. This is Westerman. Westerman's such an influential figure in this type of situation as well. Put back on the inside, and Wood is halfway through. There's no one there in support. Sam Wood needed someone on his shoulder, but they didn't appear. But Castleford are still flooding forward. Miller out. Back it goes again. Milnes with a pass away. Here comes Hoy. Hoy now. Hall tries to get in, flicks the ball up, dropped on by Moylan over there, but it's a knock-on as well. I don't think Leigh are going to get the ball back here, are they? Oh, I'm not sure.
No, was it knocked on by Josh Charnley when that ball is flicked out?
It's Castleford who get it back.
Yeah, well, when Corey Hall, he's trying to get the ball out to his wing and he flicks the ball out. And I think it was Josh Charnley made a play for it. Well, you can see he doesn't agree with the decision, but Rowan Milnes, again, causing some damage along with Texoy, flicks the ball out, comes off Josh Charnley's answer, so says the referee James Vella. Another set of 6 here, Dave.
Here we go, here we go. Whatever plans you had for the next 3 minutes, put them on hold. We might be taking you into golden point extra time as well. And it comes to Miller. This is Wood, Sam Wood back on the inside. Well, it's a game of twists and turns, and we've been saying that all afternoon. And there might be a stunning finale here. Hall. Horn down. McShane. Wriggles out there, does Horn. McShane puts it on to Miller. Miller to Milnes. Milnes, they've got a bit of a space here. And into the corner. Oh, has he bounced it? Has Lewis Senior bounced it? Did he get that down? The referee, what a big call this is. We're going to the video referee. And this is the game in a nutshell. So let's go to the cool-headed Liam Moore for vision on this.
Okay, it's tackle 2. Live decision is no try on field, so Senior's in possession at this point. So is the separation from hand to ball? He's diving for the line. Does his hand ever come off the ball? Appears to be on it at that point. Can't see separation there. Can't see separation at that point. Let's go on alternative angles, please. So we'll go on camera 2. Just to, on one angle, there's no separation. So no separation there. No separation ball, and appears to be downward pressure. So I'm going to flip back to the first angle, confirming not in touch, and you can see, stop it there please. You can see there's no separation from hand to ball. There's no separation, and there is downward pressure on that ball. So I have made my decision.
Oh my word, Lewis Senior has just completed a hat-trick. He's more than a loanee, he's a legend, and he's given his side a chance here to tie the game. The most difficult kick you can imagine, but from nowhere Castleford have clawed their way back into this, and now the whole place is just buzzing with tension and excitement, because this kick potentially takes us into golden point extra time.
That was a big play, wasn't it? You know, and Corey Hall, he flicks that ball back, they get another set of 6 to go, and he asks lots and lots of questions, and you think, wow, incredible. The try that scored from his twin brother on the other side goes to the other side, and he scores an immaculate try. And what about this from a kick?
Here we go, here we go. All eyes on one man. Has he got the nerve? Has he got the skill factor? Are we going to golden point? Milnes has a look. He looks ice cold, but I'm sure he's red hot in the middle. The kick is fantastic. It has gone between the uprights, and it has taken us all square again at 28 points apiece with 1 minute to play.
Well, both senior twins have got them back into have got cast back into the game. Over on the left, you got Innes Senior, over on the right you got Lewis Senior, and then both those kicks, Rowan Mills had to nail them from the touchline, and he did just that. Wow, what a finish.
Well, Castleford have battled. That's that. Oh, look at that. That tells you all you need to know. Lewis Senior knows that his side are still very much in this. Not quite winners yet. And Leigh could go on and snatch it from here, but what a finish we've got this. Golden point coming up. Time ticking down, 50 seconds and counting. What a Cas do here? Oh, look at the tension, look at the tension. What a Cas do here? Do they go for broke? Do they look for a shot play here? Or do they just look to kick downfield and take it through to golden point?
Well, let's see where they finish up with this next play. Paul McShane's just saying, look, let's get to the sticks, pointing at Joe Westerman. See if they can get closer line to have a go. No, they're going over the other side.
Well, they're still,
too far
Elsa
out.
takes it in, yeah, surely too far out for a drop goal attempt here. Surely. Or do they go for it with only 16 seconds because they know even if they miss, there's no time for a Leigh response? Well, there's a charge down just for a moment there. It looked as though that was going to produce a potential score at the other end from Brad Dwyer's effort. And it is full time. It is full time. But it is not all over because we're going to golden point extra time at 28 points apiece.
Incredible. Well, 11 minutes to go. We thought that Leigh were going to run away with it, didn't we? And all of a sudden that they didn't give up. Lachlan Lamb, when he scored over in the left-hand corner, we thought, oh no. Cas surely can't come back from this, but the confidence they've got, like we said before, in round 9 with the win over London and round 7 over Salford, there's certainly a different feel to this Cas side. And Craig Lingard, well, what does he know? Or what does he think his team can come up with here?
Well, there's heartbreak for somebody here, isn't there? There's going to be absolute glory. And we've been referencing it all afternoon, the wins they both had last week. And how if they're going to make a charge for the 6, they have to win here today. Well, who's going to snatch this? Where's this going?
Well, you've got two nervous captains now in Paul McShane and Lockie Lamb.
What a moment this was, though. I mean, this took some finishing, didn't it?
Yeah, that was an incredible ball. That, I think it was Liam Horn, was it, who manages to get the ball to Senior, and what a finish. What a finish, and what a goal kick at the end to tie this game up.
Well, big words here. How important is the toss here as well? It's another debate about golden point, isn't it? You know, if you get possession, is that in your advantage? Depends if you've got a drop goal kicker of renown in your camp, really, doesn't it?
And also whether you back yourself in defence as well. You know, a defensive mentality will say, right, well, we'll kick off and we back ourselves to just retain your forwards on the first few carries.
Well, the news we're hearing is that Castleford have won the toss here and they've asked Leigh to kick off. So...
And the big thing for Cas here now, obviously we're going into extra time. Not to panic on play 1 or play 2 when they're down near their own line and force the issue of making a mistake.
Here we go. Fasten the seatbelts up again. You might have got up out of your seats and stretched the legs, but get back down again, right on the edge, because it's still all to play for. And it's Castleford with the first chance, the first opportunity here, albeit from very deep. McShane comes out of dummy half. Westerman again. Those experienced heads in the Castleford pack are going to be important now. Liam Watts is out there too. McShane brings it on. They're just trying to pound their way downfield as far as they can. And Leigh will be desperately hoping that they can't get within drop goal range, and then they will get their chance. Lifting the tackle, it's okay. That's the other thing Leigh don't want to give away here, is a penalty. McShane. Watts was next to him, but Westerman was the pass. And this is Wood, and Wood steps back on the inside and keeps it alive here. It's been carried superbly well by Mellor. Mellor, well, he's taken his side to within drop goal range now, and here comes tackle 5. Where's it going to go? Back it comes to Miller, out to Hoy. Hoy with a step, and again, can't get the drop goal in because of that. Mills will put the grubber kick in. Charlie picks it up. Charlie looks for the distance, can't get downfield, but Leigh's defence rallying well to prevent them getting a drop goal.
Yeah, well, they forced him to play then, didn't he? Ron Mills just caught himself on the right-hand side of the sticks, and instead of going for the drop goal and not getting the right connection on it and giving 7 tackles away, decides to kick it into the corner.
Remember, we do have a draw option here. Claims for a penalty. If neither team can get a point in this period of extra time, then they just go, right, okay, it's all square. This is Ipape, back to Lamb. McNamara. Hardacre. Hardacre put down. Back it comes to Lamb, and now it's Moylan, and Moylan throws it wide, and Lutelli with a kick back on the inside. Lachlan Lamb with a little kick on. They're chasing this. It's still on the ground. McNamara tried to get in there, but a drop on it in desperate circumstances. Hoy, I think it is, who's got it back.
What a big play from Tex Hoy. You thought that Lamb was going to score then with his second touch, and just look at the speed here now in the defensive line for Leigh. And all those fans behind the sticks now, look at them struggling for metres. Firing it up because Leigh looking to keep Castleford right there. Hardacre can't go much further. Yeah, and Edwin and Pappy come up with 2 big plays, 2 big tackles.
Well, Watts is staying down injured.
He's hurt the ankle. I think it's from the tackle from Edwin Apapi. He just throws himself in, doesn't he? Look at this. They go back. He had to be brave here, Hoy.
Bodies all over the place. Kane Robbie eventually dropped on it. Tex Hoy. Well, there's some nerves on the bench, nerves on the sidelines. Liam Watts hobbling back to his feet. McShane ready. Leigh ready to rev themselves up again now.
Yeah, it's not what they needed. They didn't need that slow play the ball, did they?
Horn, and that's the 5th, and they're behind the 20-metre mark. So a big kick from Milnes, spinning. Moylan knows he needs to be safe, and he is safe. But it's a good, enthusiastic chase from that Castleford line, given the circumstances of the game and the minutes they played. They covered the distance very well.
Surely now Leigh will just try and take the game straight up the middle with the likes of Davis and Tom Amon. All they look to play.
Lamb goes left, Moylan helps it on its way. Lutelli looking to cut back inside. Oh, he's thrown it away. Did he need to do that?
No, but it's just in the DNA, isn't it? You know, when they were in centre field, I thought they might just tic-tac the ball up the middle of the field and had a crack at the 1 point. Instead, they looked to shift it, and then they made the error.
Lewis Senior carries it in. I think we mistakenly said that he'd got a hat-trick, Lewis, but one of his tries was ruled out by the video ref, wasn't it? So just a 2 for Lewis today. Miller into the opponent's half from Miller. McShane. Miller's looking a little tired, and he can't get out of the way as McShane tries to run past him. McShane's just given an angry glare there at his teammate, but his teammate's clearly in a bad way, and it's knocked on.
Yeah, he's getting some attention. Alex Miller, you can just see he goes down, he takes the knee, like you said. What was going through his mind is, look, I've got to get up and play the ball. As soon as he plays the ball, he feels the after effects of the tackle.
So chance for Leigh, you'd think. McShane, there's no charity on a rugby league field. Miller's clearly still hurting, but McShane said, come on, hurry up, get your head in the scrum, we need you in there. Right. So here we go. Lamb, left again, Moylan to Charlie. Charlie cuts back on the inside. Moylan waits. They're going to be in position for a drop goal at the very least in this set here, Leigh. Ipape. just taking it straight. They'll try and keep that central channel. Davis dashes up there. Davis now having a little scoot round.
Matt Moylan was set up for it then in the pocket.
This time, Moylan, hooter sounds at the end of the first half, and it's wide. Well, that was a really interesting dynamic, because the fans in front of us, who've got the same angle as us, went up to celebrate because they thought it was over. But just have a look at the fans behind the North Stand. Sticks, fellas. That was clearly wide, because they were nowhere near celebrating.
Yeah, that was it. As soon as that ball was kicked, the fans behind the sticks, you were looking at them, and they didn't go up. Good pressure from Liam Horn, who just manages to do enough to just distract Moylan from getting good contact on it. Oh, what a frantic game we've had here.
Well, there are broken bodies out there, you know, players limping around. The minutes they've done here that they didn't expect to do. An extra 5 on top of the 80, more to come. Still not decided. Coaches, well, there's very little influence they can have in a situation like this. You can talk tactics as much as you like. Craig Lingard was greatly impressed by his side's performance against London last week. I'm sure he'll be impressed with the way his side have played here today as well, digging themselves out of the hole they were in.
Do you know, I think the coach on both sides have learned an awful lot about their team, the character that they've shown in this game. So much at stake, you know, to get the 2 league points. And they've been battling, they've been doing it tough. Some of these players playing long minutes. And you see just getting some attention on the ground, senior.
Well, there's a real fervour around Leigh Sports Village, as there should be for a game like this and a finish like this. There's very few people sitting down, quite a lot are standing up, even though they've got seats. So here come Leigh. Charnley runs it back. It's going to be Leigh building from deep. Just trying to blast away. You can see the response from Castleford.
Great hit from Liam Horn, that.
Amon. Well, it's gone behind him to Lamb. McNamara throwing it wider still. Castle's defence is across there. Remember, if there's no further points now between this moment and the 5th minute, and it will finish as a draw, a point apiece, which doesn't really do either side any favours. If they're looking up rather than looking down. Lamb, Moylan with a pass, but that was read by Senior, and he's got it back, but it's a penalty!
Yeah.
Penalty for Leigh, and Lachlan Lamb immediately pointed towards the sticks, but my goodness, this would be a heck of a kick from here. They've not made an official decision on the field.
Well, there was going to be a big call, wasn't it? I don't think Senior thought the tackle was complete when he goes to strip this ball, but the tackle was complete, says the referee. Strips the ball from the telly, and they get it now. And the brain trust now between Moylan, McNamara, Lamb and Apapi, just deciding what to do, and they're going to play on it instead of going for 2.
This is the right decision, isn't it? Surely the right decision. Kick for touch. Get yourself a decent field position for a drop goal to come, potentially. A drop goal attempt to come, certainly. Unless they can find a hole in this very tired Castleford defence. Both sides running on empty at the moment. Running on sheer willpower again. And Leigh finding themselves in a very good position now. Amon puts it back to Lamb. Lamb takes the tackle. Moylan's back in position again here, should they decide to go from this play. They're not going to do, they're going to have at least one more. Amon takes them closer. Moylan's in position, Lamb's in position. That makes it a real guessing game for the out-rushing Castleford defenders. It's Moylan who will go for it. Oh, and he hits the post, and it doesn't go over. Hits the post and drops into the hands of Tex Hoy.
Wow. Wow, the Leigh fans again went up thinking that had gone over.
Well, how did it not go over?
Do you know, this is a massive set here now for Cash. You think they've got nothing left in them. Well, we thought that with 10 minutes remaining in the game. Look at that. Hits it perfectly.
Oh.
You thought he went in though then, didn't you?
Well, Castleford are scrambling for position here. it is advantage Leigh, because unless somebody in this Cas side can make a break here, Watts with the latest carry. They're not going to do that because they're going to kick here on the 6. So Leigh, you'd think, should have a good position to start their set, and Charlie, as quick as he can, will travel downfield and tries to bump them off as he goes.
Liam Watts is really struggling for Cas now. Like I said before, like some of the bigger blokes are really feeling the pace of this game.
This is Hanley, and they're dragging every yard they can out of this situation. Leigh again moving back into position. And Mona will take it even closer. Ipape waits at dummy half. Things are slowed a little. Ipape puts it back. Davis now helps it on to Lamb. Lamb to Moylan. Out comes Hall and Westerman. And two more arrive on the scene. But again, they're in position. Do they go to Moylan again? Davis. Does Moylan hope it's third time lucky? Adrian Lamb's in there this time. Adrian Lamb to the left of the sticks, and he's scooped that away, and he's well wide. And now advantage Cas, because they get a 7 tackle play on the 20.
Yeah, they've missed a couple of players there. For me, Leigh looking to play, maybe getting the ball in the wrong hands of the man. The back end of that set of 6, Moylan, I think he got tackled on the 4th play on the left-hand side, where they would have been looking for him.
I think we're going to run out of time here. There's only about 40 seconds to go.
Well, I know what he's saying before about 1 point doesn't mean much, but it'd be disappointing if you're on the losing side. You'd have the point, wouldn't you?
30 seconds out. Westerman. Now it's Miller. Castleford creeping closer. Do they have another play in them here? Have they time for another play and then a drop goal attempt? Watts is going to drag that big, aching body as far forward as he can.
Well,
Leigh trying to close it down.
Ron Mills is set now.
Now it will come. Hoy's back there as well. The hooter sounds. Hoy will run it. Tex Hoy has found the gap. Hoy now throws it over the top, looking for the glory pass. Lutelli intercepts. Lamb puts it on to Charlie. Charlie tries to go 80 metres downfield. He is tackled, and that, Terry, is that. What a finish, and ultimately what a game.
Outstanding. You just look at the pitch and you see the players just out on the feet. Players going down with cramp. You got players from both sides helping each other. Paul McShane just helping Kai O'Donnell, who had cramp, and do you know, the camaraderie that they've got, the shaking hands, helping each other. Both sides have done it really, really tough, right to the end. And when Tex Hoy got that ball, he was looking for the winger. It just looked like he didn't have enough power to get the ball to the winger. It's been that energy sapping.
Well, absolutely extraordinary. There's always a debate, a philosophical debate about the value of a golden point, but when